Okay, let us start with what is data preprocessing. Sebenarnya data preprocessing is an important issue for data warehousing and data mining. Why? Because real world data tends to be incomplete. Tak cukup kan, ada value yang tak ada and so on. Noisy and inconsistent, just like what we have discussed previously lah. The techniques of data preprocessing includes 1. Data cleaning, data integration, transformation and also reduction. So we have to recall back our data mining as a step of KDD. Previously we have seen this slide in the first and the second lecture. The data preprocessing will fall here, dekat sini. Wait sini. Okay, so it actually deals with our databases dengan our data warehouse. In databases, we have to do the cleaning and integration. For example, kita ada banyak 2-3 database yang kita kena integrate together. And then we need to clean before we integrate. And then in data warehouse, also we need to do the selection and transformation so that kita boleh minimize the size of the data set, but then kita retain the value of them lah. Then only once we have done the data preprocessing, barulah kita boleh go to data mining model. So this one you can read this on your own again. Okay, recall back the early step of data mining and then data preprocessing. Inilah, this is the general view of them. Now, what is data preprocessing? Number 1 on data cleaning. What is data cleaning? Data cleaning meaning that we are cleaning the data by filling in the missing value. Okay, filling in the missing value. We smooth the noisy data and then we identify the outliers. This one sebenarnya kita dah discuss previously dalam slide yang kedua, the second slide. And then we need to correct all of the data inconsistency. So once we have done the data cleaning, then only this data can be input to our model. For example, classification or clustering. Okay. Next, data integration, meaning that we combine data from multiple sources to form a coherent data store. For example, data kita ada, contohnya macam dulu kita tengok on RDBMS, kita ada banyak data kan, so kita nak combine sekali. Macam contoh table kan, banyak, so kita nak combine duduk dalam sekali. Maknanya itu multiple source, so kita nak form a data store dekat sini. So in here, metadata correlation analysis, data conflict detection and resolution of semantic heterogeneity contribute towards smooth data integration. But then this one will not be covered in our lectures. Sebenarnya you can do your own research on this later on. Data transformation meaning that we are going to convert the data into appropriate form of data mining. Sometimes data kita tu dia terlampau besar range dia. For example, 0 up till 10 million. So, kita ada banyak kosong. Sebenarnya kat situ kan 1 million meaning besar lah range data kita. So, we can normalize ataupun kita boleh transform data kita untuk fall into small range. Such as from 0 to 1 only. So, this is more, what they call that, better for our modelling lah. For example, kita boleh tengok, if we can take a look here, this range is quite big -2 up till 48. We are going to transform it to the range of 0 to 1. Tapi sebab this is -2, so kita akan transform dia kepada negative lah. Okay, negative value jugalah. Okay, so from here, if we take a look at here, so maknanya the range is quite smaller from compared to the real punya value lah, real data. Then data reduction in data reduction, we have data cube aggregation, we have dimension reduction, compression, and also discretization. Usually, data reduction is used to obtain a reduced representation of data. So, kita nak reduce representation of data while minimizing the loss of information content. So, mungkin dekat sini you boleh refer back your slide on database previously. I believe that you have studied this in previous semester. So, what is the task of data cleaning? What are we going to do with it? Okay, actually handling data that it is actually handling data that are incomplete, noisy, and inconsistent. Okay, so what the data in real world is very dirty, Why? Because number one, it is incomplete, lacking attribute values, lacking certain attribute of interest, and also containing only aggregate data. For example, dalam you punya data set tu, occupation is very important. Mungkin very important, but then the value is not there. Okay? Ataupun kita memerlukan, we need the value of birthday, but then the year is not there. Kita just orang tu just masukkan date dengan month sahaja. Year tak ada. So, kita tak boleh nak convert kepada age, for example. And then data is also noisy. It contains noise, errors, or outliers. Example yang the salary that I have given you before. Salary should not be in negative, right? Sepatutnya dia duduk dalam positive punya range. It is not accurate if it is in negative. So this is what we call as noisy. It will hurt the model later on. Inconsistent meaning that it contain discrepancies in codes or name. For example, contohnya age dengan birthday is we can relate them together. The data say that age for one person, for example for Ali, is 42, but the birthday of Ali is July 1997. So this is not actually this is not consistent. Sepatutnya kalau 1997 orang tu baru berumur 23. It is not 42 years old, right? And then some tuples ataupun some row, some data of one person, dia tulis dekat situ rating 1 to 3, but then some rows tulis data tu ABC. So this is not consistent. Sebenarnya benda ni dalam satu kolom yang sama lah. And then there is some discrepancy between duplicate records. Ada banyak duplicate records lah dekat dalam tu. Then in term of incomplete or missing data is not always available. So kadang-kadang many tuples have not recorded value for several attribute. For example, customer income in sale data. Sedangkan we need that income untuk kita generate the sale data. The missing data may be due to equipment malfunction. So for example, kadang-kadang sometimes we actually take the data from equipment. Kita tarik data tu daripada equipment. So once it has been malfunction, so kita tak dapat lah value of the data. And then inconsistent with other recorded data and then deleted. Data is not entered due to understanding, and then sometimes data may not be considered important at the time of entry. Bila data entry rasa this data is not important, so dia tak masukkan sebenarnya benda tu very important dalam our modelling. And then missing data may need to be inferred. Bila data tu kosong, kita nak masukkan dalam model, we need to infer the data. What is the value? What is value that we have to replace with? So this is example of incomplete or missing data, yang the one with grey boxes is missing lah. Okay.